here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about if it's still possible for the market to bring these massive returns that everyone was expecting in the beginning, or if we rather have a problem here with the market, and if there is more pain on the horizon. Let's discuss this, and also we are going to talk about Vivi today, a little bit Ecomi maybe, but also about Vivi today, because there are some news for Vivi, and we are talking altcoins and your questions and your coins as well. So make sure to stay tuned all the way through. It's going to be good. So good morning to each and every one of you. I see a couple of people already here excited for the start of the day. But first of all, let's take this Barcelona cup here today and have a sip of coffee. And yeah, let's see. Good morning to you, Bodo, and Green Lantern, also GM fellow hodlers. Have a nice day, everyone. Bringing the rocket coffee here to the stream. Thank you for that. And Patrick Bultman also, market stays fucking boring. Yeah, you could argue that because the price movement is just not as heavy, but I think it looks really great. So it's more like it's not like a blockbuster movie. It's more like a painting where you just can watch and enjoy, and things are moving slow, right? Which is exactly what we're looking at here. But we have some green in the market, and we're pumping at, not pumping, but going up, let's put it that way, going up as we speak, hitting 85,700 at the moment. And obviously, and let's say in the short term, it would be really great to take out these highs here at exactly 88,700. So there is a little bit of a way to go still, but we can see that since we hit these lows multiple times at 74,000, where it really seems to be line in the sand, with a little bit more volume, we're bouncing upwards, and now really we should take out this level. So question is, how do we get back up? How do we get back to these levels here, right? How do we get back to challenge the resistance at 92k, and how do we pass the 106,000? I hope it will be a painting from Van Gogh or Rembrandt. Yeah, I hope so too. Let's just not lose an ear, right? That's the only thing that I'm asking for. But let's see what can actually happen. And I mean, one thing is really this here, right? I don't know why this video is going off. It's not supposed to. There we go. So Federal Reserve is prepared to intervene in financial markets if the liquidity issues arise, says the Boston Fed president. Okay, so that is basically meaning, hey, we're ready to pump money into it, right? And we see here Collins noted that the Fed had previously acted quickly to stabilize markets such as during 2020 COVID-19 crisis and would do so again if required. And we all remember what that was. The stepping in was not like hand holding or something like that, right? It was massive money expansion, right? Such as other countries are also either prepared to do or already started to do, right? She acknowledged the broader market challenges, including rising yields in US treasuries, but everyone's calling for that, right? And they might do it fairly soon. JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon warns Fed may need to step in to support the bond market without this fix. Okay, so Jamie Dimon here also saying, hey, they have to enter here, right? If they don't, the Fed have to intermediate, which I think is just a bad policy idea, that every time there's a kerfuffle in the markets, the Fed has to come in and intermediate. But intermediate means not sitting there and getting two parties to the table. No. It means bringing money into the market, right? But we will see. No one wants to, by the way, no media, no one else wants to touch these terms, right? No one says, actually they just have to step in, print a shitload of money, debase our currency. That's exactly what we need right now, right? So no one says that. But that's of course what it is. And the hedge against that sits here and is currently going up. So we will see how this comes. A quick one for the fun in the middle, where Donald Trump comes out and says the best definition of intelligence is the ability to predict the future. And then this guy here says, long or short today, boss? Yes, we want to all know. I mean, it seems that I don't know how much trolling is actually in this, because this is super funny, given that he before said, I think before the reversal in stock market, this is now a good time to buy stocks. So he basically said it before. And then also, your technical analysis is no match against my tweets or to my tweets. So that is also true. Because one tweet in the wrong direction with regards to tariffs or economy and the whole market goes haywire. But what I think is, let's get back to seriousness. What I think is really an important factor here is the Bitcoin holdings and how much Bitcoin is acquired by institutions and corporates. Just corporations, they bought 95,000 Bitcoin in Q1, which is quite a bit given that there are only 21 million, and 100,000 bought in one quarter, which is also the highest quarter basically in history. Shows you that the demand is there and the supply is not infinite, which means this finite supply, there will be at some point some readjustment to the upside in the price level to then negotiate a new price once there is no supply anymore. Supply coming from short-term holders that are selling at pain and fear and necessity, which we can see here is gladly absorbed by the institutions. Let's listen to this quickly, because what's also a thing, and we tend to forget about the good stuff that is happening in the market, is actually there are people now sitting in the White House that are discussing ways to buy Bitcoin into reserve without affecting the taxpayer. So listen to this.
But then I've also seen Nick and others talk about this idea of, well, maybe there's external revenue that we can drive and be able to use that. And so, like, how are you guys maybe from a framework standpoint thinking about, okay, what are the ways that we could go buy more Bitcoin?
Well, I think that Senator Lummis has really an interesting idea with the Bitcoin Act of 2025, which I know has taken the community by storm. But here, what you would do is you'd revalue the gold certificates that we currently have at Treasury most of which are valued, I think, around like $43 an ounce, which is,
a lot lower than what it's really worth.
Correct. Yeah. So now we're sitting at what, $3,100 an ounce, with being the price of gold. And if you took that value, what you could do is use that extra funding in order to buy more Bitcoin that could be used for the reserve. But that's just one idea. And, that's currently circulating its way through Capitol Hill, and we'll see how many co-sponsors she can get and how she can pull her colleagues on board. But we're looking at many creative ways, whether it be from, tariffs, whether it be from something else. I mean, there's literally countless ways in which you can do this. And, I'll defer to, some of our members inside of the interagency working group to see what ideas they come up with inside of their own shops. But we'll look at everything. Everything's on the table. And like we've said, we want as much as we can get. So we're going to make sure that no stone is unturned as we start fleshing out some of these processes.
Okay, so in the end, again, the word repeated, that they want as much as they can get. And I mean, using the tariffs to purchase Bitcoin would be insane, right? I mean, if there are countries left that just have to pay tariffs, and you use those tariffs to do that, then that would be crazy. Because I mean, let's just say there are even only a couple of million or so coming in, right? Let's say per month. Them buying and just stocking up on that would be still massive bullish, because then it still brings the whole thing in play where other countries have to follow up or try to pass them and increase the purchasing of Bitcoin, which is interesting. And it's not that I necessarily, as someone who is really bullish on the fundamentals of Bitcoin, want that, but nonetheless, it's interesting to see, right? I mean, in the end, what's Bitcoin for, right? Bitcoin for us should be a hedge against inflation, should be a means of freedom, another way of being able to transact in a seamless, easy, and permissionless way. And of course, I don't need necessarily all governments to be into that, but the more adoption, I guess, the more legitimacy. So the big question is, will this happen, right? Based on what we said, will this happen, right? And I mean, we talked a little bit about it yesterday. The signs are really good. Like everything's lining up for this to happen, right? And maybe we need a little bit of a recap, right? We've just seen that the Fed is the Fed is prepared to step in, right? We are seeing that Bitcoin is holding extremely well on top of this massive inverse head and shoulders. So the bounce for now is happening, right? We just need volume now here for the next leg. But forming a fat hammer for now, right? There's still 15 days, 20 hours. That is one side. Then the DXY is falling, right? We talked about this yesterday. DXY is falling. That usually benefits risk-on assets. We have talked about yesterday how the green phases in so the collapsing DXY led to massive bull runs, right? In Bitcoin. If we close this like this, then I expect us to go on the next big rally, right? And from a time perspective, we also have enough time to do that. Even with a slow summer, there's enough time to get that. And then finally, the question is, what about the altcoins, right? And here for the altcoins, I'd say it's not time yet. We definitely see this. Wow, this is rising, still rising. Bitcoin dominance is at 63.81. So every altcoin, collectively, the altcoins are still getting wrecked against BTC. This may change over time, maybe more to the end of the year or into the next year even, as we were horribly wrong on this outcome here and how Bitcoin performs. So just remind me that that Trump's and everyone else's tweets are more effective and more powerful than my TA. But that's basically where we wait also for turnaround. And then could this turnaround be here? This is the others chart against BTC on a weekly basis. If you were to draw this in with a trend line and you say, okay, we bottom here maybe for a little bit more time and then we bounce, then this could be the third the first, the second, and the third altcoin season, right? The third altcoin season we needed desperately to finance our future lifestyle. But yeah, that could be it. Also, someone says he is waiting for the foreign. I think that's before the crash comes, we really want to see this, right? Everyone's predicting the crash, so I think it takes more time until the crash really happens. I mean, we have seen some kind of crashy environment, but not the real deal yet. So yeah, let's see. By the way, we did not look at Google search trends since a long time. Let's look at it. And we see, so blue is Bitcoin, red is Ethereum, standing representative for the altcoins still because it's still the most known and searched one. And NFTs are yellow. And it's interesting because you remember that months back when we looked at this, actually the search values were different, right? You see here, for example, NFTs have the high, actually the NFTs reached 4 and 5 not long ago in March, right? When we had a little bit of some pumps, right? But it's just the beginning, and we saw this here as well, like the NFTs coming up, having some values, then flatten out again, and then boom, right? And the same for the altcoins, right? We have here a little bit altcoin bounce, and then it flattens out again. Search terms for the altcoins go low. We had this here as well, right? Altcoins go up, and then they rally, right? And maybe we are going to have this again, like this, right? But there are signs of life in the search terms for both altcoins and NFTs. I mean, a 5 of NFTs, I've actually not expected this. Very, very interesting, right? So I think we are also here for Bitcoin, right? It's a very, very low Bitcoin search volume, 21. This is the big bull market territory, I'd say, and we will see how it plays out. But we've seen this here flattening out. The next spike could be happening after this, so let's see. We are almost in bear market territory here with the search terms. So people are losing interest. The market waits for lost interest, and then it goes again, right? Usually that's what's happening. I'm still biased bullish because of the chart, technical, and fundamental reasons that I laid out here before. So yeah, that is that. Let me know what you think. And while you do that, we look at the market. By the way, we talked about it yesterday. Crashed, and I think the decision that we made when I said yesterday, okay, I'm not going to throw money after that. Because I learned from my mistakes with Terra Luna. I think it was correct. Today it's down another 25%. Let's look at it quickly. Here it is, right? This is your support. Support is lost. Still 5 days in a week, but wow. Okay, sales volume coming in. Support, actually, if you take this lower band of support, it's not quite lost yet. I mean, you could argue that this is the actual support, right? Then you are at support, but still, it doesn't really look good. I mean, people are panicking, people are scared in this coin. The developers had more than 90%. So, not looking that good. Next stop, 29 cents. I'd say this is the next stop. And I think it looks very ruggy, right? I mean, it looks scammy, to be honest, right? I mean, even though that let's look here quickly, dollar oops, there it was. There, mantra tokenizing and so on. Let's see if they posted anything more. They're still retweeting. Mantra CEO speaks live on 6 billion collapse. Well, at least there are AMAs or things to look at, so maybe we will see what happens. But if you are in Alm or so, check this out. But I mean, for now, my decision stands to not throw money at this at all. Yeah, not going to catch this. Also because the upside, what would be the upside if that even would go back to where it was, 10, 14x? I mean, that's also if you expect some alts also to go. That's also what you expect from larger altcoins, right? Do we need to see ETH pump first in order for alts to pump? Maybe, but I guess Solana could do the trick as well. If Solana pumps first, maybe that this could also be a leader. I'd say either ETH or Solana. How's ETH doing? Oh, wow. Okay, this is not good, right? Look at this. The wick-based trend line, and the normal trend line both hard lost, right? Really lost here. So yeah, this was the last bounce on this trend line. ETH lost it. Looking at the non-logarithmic, doesn't make it better, to be honest. So next stop, or let's say you really don't want to lose this, because otherwise the next stop is down here at the cycle low, which is 921. I don't understand, to be honest, why ETH is. Maybe it's Vitalik and how he treats and everything, like and who's building on ETH, like their philosophy, right? I don't know, but yeah. Is this even straight? Let me see. There you go. Yeah, it certainly doesn't look that good. Let's put it this way. ETH doesn't look that good. How about Sol? Sol USDT. Okay. Okay, that looks better. To be honest, that looks better. The trend is intact. The support, it's a little bit sliced, but okay. That looks way better. Like Solana looks better. I'd say if Solana would go through, like, break all-time high again and start rallying, I think it could spark the run. Even though Ethereum is lagging behind. But we have to remember one thing. Ethereum is being bought by Trump and Trump family, right? So they basically have the levers at hand to pump the market. They want to pump their bags, right? I mean, why else would they buy all this Ethereum, right? It doesn't make any sense. So we have looked at global liquidity yesterday. We have seen that it's not long until everything should be going up again. Maybe Bitcoin is already on it, we don't know. But it's only a matter of, I would say, even days now, as we're coming closer. I don't know if I still have this up, but I don't think so. From yesterday. If not, you can watch the stream yesterday. I think there are other things in it that make this picture complete that I'm laying out here. But let's quickly look back at the altcoins. So that is Other altcoins are okay-ish, somewhere between -5 and plus 8-9%. Fartcoin, as always, leading the charge, but also VeChain 3.4%. By the way, yesterday I saw a post, maybe I can find that here. I pulled it up, but then in the end I didn't discuss it. And that is for VeChain, right? Here, look at this. So this is Sunny Lu from VeChain, and this is Trump, and this is the UFC, right? And we know that VeChain is the sponsor, or one big sponsor of the UFC. So the VeChain logo is everywhere. So, and then this guy reports, it's just a handshake, they say. Next minute, a proper conversation with the most powerful person in the world, CEO of VeChain, with Dana White and President Donald Trump, right? So, yeah, it is just a small talk on the side of UFC, but why, right? I mean, hey, Mr. President, may I introduce this is Sunny Lu from VeChain, the guy behind all the logos here on the UFC octagon. Oh, hey, yeah, what do you do? Yada, yada, right? So, interesting. Interesting to say the least. Maybe World Liberty Fund is going to buy a bag of VeChain, who knows, right? But I think I could imagine that this is the reason why VeChain is doing good at the moment, with a couple of percent plus or above 2 cents and so on. Yeah. Yeah, VeChain has a new logo. I mean, that is old. Very, very old. Okay. But that is for VeChain. Now, back to this. So we see a couple of green ones. Monero, Ton, green. Overall, on the week, everything's green except Om. Om is destroying the party for some. Everything except Om and some small others. But overall, some recovery happening also in the altcoins here for the week. Which brings me to the point to look quickly at the altcoins. Let's take this. Why can't I get rid of this? Holy crap. I hate this. Okay, let's take another one. Good. What did I want? Oh, yeah. Total 2. Which Total 2 is suppressed by Ethereum, right? Why is this? Oh, there we go. Okay, so the Total 2. So here also you see it, right? Trend broken, right? We talked about this. Bearish retest, breakdown, right? Target not reached, right? We only reached the 1.6 trillion, and we're back to sub 1 trillion on the Total 2. Target not hit yet, right? What we really don't want is, and it didn't happen until now, we don't want to put a lower low in, right? That we don't want. We want this to at least go higher in the sense, which is good that it did not happen yet. So no bear market yet in the broader altcoin market. Total 3 looks way better. And why is this so different? Because in the Total 2 there's Ethereum, and Ethereum's really shitting the bed, whereas here it's from Solana onwards, or XRP Solana and so on, which looks way stronger, right? Looks way stronger, looks way more on track here for a bounce, right? With that being now here, wick trend as the last cent, right? But there you go. Okay, so this looks way better, and that exactly is what I meant by the Solana maybe being the leader, right? And now others really destroyed the cup and handle that we had here, right? It was so nice as a setup, and then it got destroyed. And others really lost the trend as well here, basically, right? I mean, if this is anywhere, or if this is or was anywhere a trend, either it was lost here, up here already, right? Here, or it's at least lost on the wicks right now. So can we recover? Maybe. We saw that in this chart before. Actually, I mess this one, right? There you go. We saw it here before. So that is something that we're looking out for, to have a bounce. Again, cup and handle destroyed, unfortunately. Did not came true. Breakout was not confirmed by retest, right, which is the main rule. But we still let it in because of the check my bias. And then also others dominance, right? You know this chart. I showed it to you after it broke as well. This was really one that I hoped it would not break, but it did. So the others dominance chart broke to the downside, implying more pain for the small coins here. And we are at the lows here really, and could go lower all the time. So this massive rising channel now broke to the downside. Yeah, we will see. Now we are sitting at some kind of a support that is forming here between this and this, right? We will see. But altcoins not looking too great yet. We will have to wait and see what happens. But you see also, if the market turns around, money printer kicks in and everything pumps left and right. The question is, how much influences, even if everything else goes up, right? How much will this dominance be influenced by coins that are doing poorly because there are now so many coins, right? So even if the liquidity concentrates on the coins from the last cycle and some new coins, and 10-20,000 coins do poorly, maybe this dominance doesn't tell that much about the, let's say, the coin with a great use case and the big community, right? So we will see, but it tells a lot about the other coins. Okay, next one to look at is OMI, and OMI has what can I tell you? I mean, clinging on to this last stand of this wedge. Oh man, I mean, people are buying, right? You see the people are buying. You see the wicks, the volume goes up on this part, but still the price goes lower. We had recently a new low at new cycle low at 00019, right? So that is let's say NFT Hero, what's up? There are not many new coins compared to new liquidity. Yeah, if you are subtracting all these pump fund coins, I mean, there are many new also with nice use cases and so on, right? Many new cycle coins, but not to this extent, right? Yeah, so now there are really many coins that will probably never see liquidity on these pump fund things and so on, that no one will ever buy. But yeah, but OMI, I don't know what's happening. The volume is high, but we're still putting in more lows, right? So we could drop way lower here, and even coming out maybe of this wedge to the downside, and then it's absolute. This is the last thing that I could find before absolute price discovery, and we're still waiting for the whales to step in to make their move, right? If they are going to. There is, though, something interesting on the horizon here posted by Randy, and that is for Vivi. Challenge opens in, and so on. New leaderboard. So there are now leaderboards in Vivi, bringing milestones where you can get MCPs. And maybe that, so it seems that this was there and then it was gone again, right? Maybe it's a beta without telling people that it's a beta, because not everyone's seeing that, but someone saw it, screenshotted it. And you also, like, for the rewards, you can apparently also get limited edition collectibles, which we see here. And this is exactly what I meant with like gamification. So there are leaderboards and you can win something. That's perfect. I really like that. So let's see here more. So you see, first place gets 100,000 MCP and limited edition collectibles. Second place only MCP. I wish they would put more limited collectible rewards also for other places, depending how this is set up. Qualifying activities are log in, like a post, comment to a post, share to the feed, view showroom, list in market, and follow a user and gain a follower. So these are all activities that you can get. And this is good because it will boost the in-app chat, which is the social aspect that you need. Yeah. So then you have a top 250 leaderboard, your own ranking, and so on. And maybe this even, could be something to do while activity is not as high. But then again, MCP also need to increase in value by having more MCP related activities. But I think this is really good. It's a good idea. Also, this new VV button here, down here, I think this is also good. The app has been a little bit faster already, but still not to my satisfaction, to be honest. But so far so good, right? Let's see if they posted about the leaderboards already. They did not. Daredevil is coming as a drop, by the way. I saw this also in KCBMW's calendar. Wow. Someone built this from the house from Squid Game with Vivi collectibles. Okay, this is I can see it. Maybe we need that as an NFT or so for these guys to build, right? Really nice comic cover here, by the way. Vibranium variant, ultra rare, first appearance of Dr. Stasis. I like these ones, the comic-y ones. The Scotty Young styles. Is the Scotty Young? I don't know. Yeah, it is. It says here on the signature. Really nice, really nice. So some VV things happening. By the way, did you guys go for this one here? I saw a couple of people going for this one. Actually, they're pretty affordable in the market, right? So that is also interesting to see. Shutdown series, 30 April 2025. Okay, so if you have this, you get an airdrop apparently. Okay, so that's good. Vivi is doing some things, building in the background. That's exactly what you want to see. Let's just hope they don't run out of money. But I think that so far this is a good development. Let's see if the app performance continues to increase with these features, and then I'll be happily back with the everyday logging in and so on. But until it's fast enough, not yet, unfortunately. Guys, make sure to smash up the like button. I really didn't ask for this during the whole stream. I always forget. People need to remind me. But if you could do me the favor of smashing up the like button here, subscribing if you haven't yet, if you want to, notifications on to not miss out on live streams. I hope you appreciate the content. And let me know also if you watch it later in the comments below what you think about this. Always liking, commenting, subscribing, everything like this really helps me, really helps the channel. So I would appreciate that quite a bit. And for today, that's it. I think good things are still coming. I know it's a difficult phase, but I really hope that that this let's say the remaining 60% of the year or so, or what is it, like 75%, are going to be great, right? And as Bernard Donaldson says, would love to see a vet pump like April 2021. Many people want to see that, and I think the chances are good that we see this to the later part of the year as money is kicking or coming in. And the question is, how does money come to the people, right? How does money come into the pockets of the people? And there will be some kind of stimulus. If there is so much money swept into the market, some kind of stimulus has to happen. And the question is, how will it happen? Last time it was write out stimmy checks, airdrop, helicopter money that was hitting the market. This time it might be a little bit a different mechanic of getting that into people's hands. One could be in the US, the Doge dividend, but others could be whatever. Probably in Europe it's not going to be tax cuts, but we will see, right? So guys, yeah, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and I catch you in the next video or live stream. Have a good one, everyone, and bye.